Alright, what's going on everyone? Mr. Real Fitness coming at you. Gotta make sure that hair's fly. A little delt check. I know, I'm just messing around. So, today what I want to talk about, actually let me just adjust this camera right quick. Make sure I am in the shot. There we go. So, today what I want to talk about is why calories in, calories out is the best method that we have so far, not just in the scientific community, but in just about every evidence-based community on how to lose weight. I'm going to really dive into it. So first we're going to take a look at two studies. First study is going to talk about why calories in, calories out is the most effective way to go about losing weight. And then the second study is going to be looking at, man, why does it keep going out of focus? There we go. So the second study is going to be looking at people who say, oh, I count my calories, but I'm still not losing weight. So the second study is going to be looking at why that might be the case. And then the last, I'm just going to jump, end this video off by, looking at some popular diets like keto diet, paleo diet, and all those. And we're going to talk about why calorie deficits are the main reason they're effective, not because you're cutting out all your carbs or any of that crap, all right? So without further ado, let's jump right into it, all right? So I got my trusty board right here. I hope y'all can see it, but I'll be reading it out loud as I'm saying as well, so don't worry. You'll get all the info, you know what I mean? So first of all, the first study, it took a look at 20 non or moderately obese females, and it tested them in 8 weeks. So they were put on an 8-week hypocaloric diet, and it tested them before and after. Now, basically what they found out was after the 8 weeks, body mass and body fat decreased significantly between the females. And this is a quote from the study. It says, negative energy balance alone is responsible for weight reduction. So, just to rewind a little bit before I dive into this study, what this study was basically taking a look at, it was looking at two groups of female, one group that had on a caloric deficit and exercise, and the other group that had only on a caloric deficit or a hypocaloric diet. And what they found out was both of the groups lost body fat and body mass. Now, this is really interesting because it shows the effectiveness of a caloric deficit. Now, the kicker here is the exercise group and just the hypocaloric group, they both lost about the same amount of, body mass and body fat. Now, I think if they made the exercise routines a little bit more intense, because they were only working out like 3 times a week, I think, or something like that. So if they made the exercise routines a little bit more intense, I think the exercise and hypocaloric group would have lost significantly more because they're creating more of a deficit. But that's just my hypothesis, right? But basically what this study is showing is that hypocaloric diet is, the main component in losing weight. And I'm going to, read this quote again one more time because it's so important. Negative energy balance, so the hypocaloric, alone is responsible for weight reduction. Now, the second study basically took a look at a group of obese subjects who were saying that they count their calories and, all that, and they're still not losing weight. And here's what they found out, all right? This is really interesting. It's one of my favorite ones. So, first thing they wanted to take a look at was make sure that they had a normal metabolism. So, first thing they did is measure their metabolism, and they noticed no abnormally slow metabolism. So, metabolisms were normal. Right on. All right, so subjects underreported their caloric intake by a mean of 1,053 kcals or 47%. And overreported their caloric expenditure by 251 kcals per day or 51%. So what does this conclude? I'm sorry, I know you can't really see it, but I will talk about it as well. So what does this conclude? In conclusion, all these subjects reported a history of diet resistance. So all of them had tried over 20 diets, and they said that their body is just not responding to diet. And what these researchers found out after looking at their eating habits and caloric habits was that all of them had overreported their activity and underreported their food intake, and they had a normal metabolism. So what does that mean? That means that they were eating more food than they claimed, so more calories, right? And they were less active than they claimed. So they claimed they were burning this many calories when they're actually burning this many. You know what I mean? So again, this kind of shows that, you need to really keep track of everything, those little things. If you're like eating a couple chips while walking down the road, or your friend has like a couple fries, you're eating that can really add up. So these people who thought they were in a caloric deficit actually were not. So it wasn't that the caloric deficit wasn't being effective. It was that they thought they were in a caloric deficit, but they were not. So really, you need to take a look at this and research it. You don't have to take my word for it. You know what I mean? You do your own research and really find out. But from all the research I've done, calories in, calories out is the most effective way to lose weight. Period. None of this. You gotta go keto or you gotta go paleo. You don't gotta go anything. You need to be in a caloric deficit. And, there's a reason the caloric deficit, like if you look at nutritionists, a lot of them will advise it. There's a reason when bodybuilders are getting ready for competitions, their focus is on a caloric deficit to lose weight. And there's a reason why, MMA fighters, when they're weight cutting, they have a similar kind of goal in mind, right? Because this is the number one factor in losing weight. Now let me touch on a couple of popular diets and talk about why the reason they're not working, the reason they are working is not because they're cutting out all sugars or any of that crap. It's because of that caloric deficit, right? So first diet I want to touch on is keto. Now keto, I think most of you will know, is a very high-fat diet, and it basically claims that carbs are evil. You need to go into ketosis and all this shit, and then you're gonna lose weight. Alright, now just think about this logically, right? If you're cutting a whole macronutrient out of your diet, the macronutrient being carbs, because keto people don't really eat a lot of carbs, right? You're probably going to end up in a caloric deficit. You're going to be eating significantly less food than you were before that, right? Because you're not eating as much of the bread and all the, other stuff. Like if you were eating McDonald's fries, I'm pretty sure that's off the menu now, right? So that's kind of the main reason that these people are losing weight. But and this, I wanted to kind of prove it as well by showing you this one diet that someone I know very close to me followed, and they told me about it, and I did some research on it, and I want to prove that this diet is all just about a caloric deficit as well. So this is called the ideal protein diet. Some of you may have heard of it, but I'll just really summarize it quickly. It's basically this ideal protein brand. They sell you a bunch of their ideal protein products. They put you on a kind of like a meal plan only with their products, and they say, use our products, you're going to lose weight. Now, I got to give them credit because you will lose weight. But the reason you'll lose weight is not because ideal protein products are some sort of magic. It's because the products are so low in calories, you're going to end up in that caloric deficit. And they're going to give you a meal plan with their products that puts you in that deficit. And I'm going to prove it right here, okay? So here I have this. I gotta be in the frame too. Peace. All right, now so here I have this. This is the ideal protein, one of their products, and I'm gonna read this little description alongside with y'all. All right. So see what this says right here. This is their actual product. Okay. Hold on. Let me get to the camera. There we go. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. So it says useful in weight reduction only as part of an energy-reduced diet. So that's literally what we've been talking about this whole time. The energy, hold on, let me focus back right quick. So the energy reduction, right, that's what we've been touching on this whole time. It's not about the friggin' ideal protein, right? Like this isn't doing shit. Well, technically it is, because it's producing that caloric deficit, but you could produce that caloric deficit with any food, So that's really what I'm trying to touch on here. Fitness is a multi-million, I think probably billion-dollar industry. So there's new diets that are going to keep coming out because people can sell you shit and make you spend your money. But, if you just, do your research, learn about calories in, calories out, you could be losing weight just by buying your bare necessities from the grocery store, right? Now, this doesn't mean that you should be going out eating Oreos and stuff, just, and focus on a caloric deficit. Still focus on nutrient-dense foods, but realize that none of these diets are magic. This is a lifestyle you're going to have to adhere to, and you're going to have to focus on a caloric deficit, right? So I hope that video was helpful to really talk about the main factor in weight loss. I hope that helps some of y'all out. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.